I'm here now. How are you, George? Says Jack. Just fine. In fact, we just started. Welcome to a live impromptu at the world's easiest candlepin bowling alley in the history of the world, Mason's. If anyone believes that, as the old saying goes, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you, because if you mention Mason's to even a pro, they cringe and tell you how much they hate the place. We're on the side that loses my bowling balls, lane 18. It's known to happen. I start with 4. Usually I wind up with 3 at the end, sometimes 2. But they do get them back. Somehow they wind up getting stuck in the machinery. Well, let's get this started. Start with 9. It actually kept the 5-pin. Now we have one of those famous New England candlepin on the top of the table routine going. It's a thing that happens. And a spare. It's now time for El Stinko, the bonus ball. Thank you, Jack. Hello, Sports Fanatic. 5-pin in Canada? Nope, never have. If I ever go there someday, I would like to try it. El Stinko, the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? Of course, the first ball that had to stink had to be the bonus. El Stinko is a 1. If it weren't for that 9 in frame 1, we'd have a perfect game going. And in candlepin bowling, because it's harder, a perfect game is simply all 10 pins down in your turn. Over the summer, somebody got the lowest possible score for a perfect game of 100. That's all 10s and 10 frames. The highest, I'm not sure if it was a perfect game or not, but the world record for the highest score is 245, held by someone named Sem, that I keep forgetting his first name, and Carl Sargent co-holds it. Anyway, let's keep going. All right, things are getting back to normal now. Still 8 is all right. Yep, it was going too well. Now we have to throw it down. Throw it away now. Stink frame of 4. Halftime report. Nice start, and then everything collapses, although the 8 ain't too bad. Although that is still a halfway decent 42. And according to ICBA standards, average ability for a casual, for fun candlepin bowler is 90. According to the records, people's averages usually fluctuate around 10, so 80 to 100 is good. 100 here is impressive. If we can maintain at least half the games 80 or above, hey, Masons. All right, let's get out of the funk. Almost, but we saved it. Got 9. Also, keep in mind we're not very far from the jukebox, so if that's going to play and there's not a lot of bowling, we'll have to mute the audio. Again. 3 frames to get 20. Lousy 6. $14 in 2. Just need 4 to hit minimal acceptance. That 4 kind of wrecked it. I'll take 9. All right. That kind of wrecked things a little bit. That didn't help. That does not constitute a slayer, by the way. A slayer is 3 6 frames in a row, does not include fills. 10 and 9, 85. Masons, that ain't too bad. Thanks for the great try thing. And Sportsman Addict, first time watching. Welcome aboard. I try to read the comments every half and every game ending if I can. If I can't respond to something, well, I can't because I have no way to figure it out. Or it has been known that the service drops messages people write in, because I would go back and I see some that were never shown on the phone. So I do not intend to, as I say, alpha omega sin people by ignoring them. Although when I do arcade one-up things, it tends to happen because I get in the groove and totally forget, and I apologize. Game number 2, 85. For Masons, that's pretty damn good. As Dave calls it, the sideways diamond. He says it's super ultra rare, but I get it at least once every time I play. Starting with a lovely 6. It's bad enough. It almost happened. Looks like this game might be a throwaway. That's a 7. When the bowling gods hate you, they hate you. It's the Caleri. Let's say hi to Bob Caleri. Hi. Let's see if we can make him go away. It's not a true conversion, but he's gone. I almost got screwed. Will it be better? Had to double count. But we got a week 4, which is, yeah. Well, it's Mason's. The magnets on the tip keep it on the plate. The sandpaper on the plate keeps the pins from moving. To think that one actually slipped out of my hand. Alrighty, halftime. Looks like the throwaway is actually turning out to be okay. 6, 7, 10, spare and a lousy 4, 10, 47. Let's go to highs and lows. High single 142 done at New Palace Lanes. Low of 44 done here when I was starting to do things right. And my high single at this place is a 121. So, hey, we're actually doing better now. But will it last? It's not always good to have the late pinfalls, but if I can hit the head pin, and that piece of wood can make the spare happen. Oh, both pieces of wood. Actually, it's the third one on the 10 that you might not see. Wood can be your friend, it can be your foe. 8. Was going for the easy points, just not far left enough. Another 8. The one broken pin in the whole rack. That's what's still standing. Niner. Second ball too thin. Third one, you couldn't even put a piece of paper between it and the pin. Another 8. Alrighty. Fell apart slightly, but not too bad. Pair of 8s. 9, 8, 10. 90. And at Mason's, that's pretty good. Oh, Chris Allen. Oh, Saction, I believe. If I got that right. And hello again, Chris Allen. Happy Saturday indeed. Game number 3. First one was 85. Second one started off kind of weak as a throwaway. Then it came back to be a 90. And like I said, Mason's, it's a lot harder to get those scores. It's also way harder to get a strike. Niner. Everybody might want to, after this is over, go back and download this video. You saw something extremely rare. Mason's giving a gift. Got screwed on the second ball. 10. Bowling God's middle finger for 9. Alrighty, we finally got one of my least favorite leaves, the half Worcester. Fortunately for the right-handed bowler, the left side is a little easier. Tried for the points, not for the glory. Oh well. 7. That one just felt wrong. Again, you couldn't see a gap. 9er. Halftime report. 9, 10, 9, 7 the weak one so far, and a 9. We're at my low single of 44 at the half. Halfway to Worcester, as Chris Allen says. Good afternoon, Tom. This time the kingpin is standing alone for the 9. The kingpin will appear slightly darker because it's further from the deck lighting. Now, if that wood was traveling backwards instead of forwards, we could have a spare here. But we'll have to take a 10. We're now tied with the high game. Two more frames to get 17 to hit middle of average. Yeah, we're probably not going to beat it, but we're at good territory right now, so who cares? Finally a mark. Highly unlikely, but if I can get at least 9, we got 3 digits. And here at Mason's, that is a feat in its own. Six. All right, this is actually the high game. 9, 10, 10, no microwave turkey dinner because we got an 8. Spare with a 6 fill, 97. Masons, that is actually very good. Masons is known to be one of the world's toughest candlepin alleys. Hello, John Kafuri, I believe. Ethan Condi, I think. How many balls you get? You get 3 if you can't knock them all down in 2. Strikes and spares are the same thing. Strike in 1, spare in 2. And then third ball is how many pins are falling afterwards. No bonus if it's all 10. Alrighty, game number 4. Bowling God's middle finger remains for 9, and that pin leaning on the wall does count because it fell. That went in the gutter before it hit the pin, so it's an 8. Like any bowling, if a ball goes in the gutter then takes out pins, it doesn't count. Like any other bowling, if a gutter ball takes out pins, if it's an entirely full rack, you are allowed to reset, otherwise you take the penalty. What you guys would call double wood, we here call the reverse half Worcester left. That's an 8. That might have been too hard. Oh, good, it didn't take any. That pin was pretty fat. We had a wide range in which to make that spare happen. Boy, these games are starving for marks. It's time for El Stinko the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? Let's find out. I didn't show El Stinko I got a 1. No, I mean I did, I got a 1. I didn't the second time. Meh. Third time, okay. Fourth time, a 1. El Stinko, again, living up to its name. Okay, I'll take that. That probably surprised you like it did me. It's also the halftime report. 9, 8, 8, a spare, a second spare, the first ball only taking out 1. The second one, surprisingly, all 9. We're at 46 with El Stinko, the bonus ball again. Now in Candlepin bowling, if you can get 3 marks in a row, strikes or spares or a combination thereof, it counts as a turkey. How many balls in the 10th frame? That depends. Actually, in Candlepin and Duckpin, it's always 3. If you throw the first ball and you get a strike, you get 2 bonus balls. That adds to 3. If you get a spare, you've thrown 2 balls and you get 1 ball for a bonus, that's 3. If you fail to knock all 10 pins down in 2 balls, you throw your third to try to knock the rest down. So the 10th frame is always 3. In 10 pin, that can vary. If you get a strike in the 10th frame, that varies and you get 3, otherwise it's 2. So remember, Candlepin, Duckpin, 10th frame is always 3, which does include your bonus shots. Anyway, time for El Stinko. Let's see if we can get a 3-digit game, which here takes a miracle. I know I say it and it doesn't come true all the time, but I think the strike streak's gonna die today. I'm not getting any favorable strike movements at all. 9 fill is still great. That makes the half a 55. We got that piece of wood up against the 7, making it a nice fat pin. We can get our turkey. Gobble, gobble. 3 spares in a row. That's a turkey in Candlepin bowling. Once again, it's time for El Stinko the bonus ball. Let's see what this bonus winds up being. So many close calls to that dreaded leave. We all know what dreaded leave that is. Good news is it's a 6 fill. All right, almost a curse of the fill, but we got the net. That many frames to get that many numbers in the score. For a right-hander, that is not the half Worcester you want to see. All right, got an 8 out of that train wreck, not too bad. S-K-R-U-D, screwed. Got a spare out of it. Sloppy in making the score sheets. The narrow window is where the score goes. It's usually the amount of points per turn, whatever they call that one. El Stinko the bonus ball. I just need that many for the fill to get that many numbers in the score. I don't have to check the wood because if the head pin just falls straight over, it's like 5 inches from the deadwood line. If anything touches or goes past it, then you have to get it removed. 7 fill. If it hit that piece of wood that's still there in the middle, it would have gotten a spare. I did not see that spare coming, so we could break our high single here. Not my ultimate high single, but the Mason's high single. Okay, here's the situation. Bonus ball remaining. We are at 115. 6 will tie, 7 will beat it. Say it with me now. You know what to say. Welcome to Masons.
Okay, I'll press the button and I'll you know.
Welcome to Masons big time. That is fun. That's only a 3. Alrighty. Talk about ultimate screw job there. Spare, 9, first ball knocking 6, 8. Spare, second spare, first knocking down 7. Then that ultimate of screw jobs, the 3 fill. So close to my high, Mason's high of 121, 118. Which is right there. Mason's high 121, high 142, low 44. If I ever broke my high single here, then we're in the twilight zone. Still, that's a great game. 300. No one has ever done that in Candlepin. World record is 245, held by Carl Sargent, which was the second person to get it. I keep forgetting the name of Mr. Semb, who got it first, but he is the original 245 holder. Chris Sargent co-holds it. Game number 5. And the funny thing is, if hell froze completely over and parallel universe shifted, and I got 246 or higher, it wouldn't count because it's not on a sanctioned alley and there's no lob line judge and there's no laser line or judge for the regular foul line. So I could get a 300. It won't count, but it'll look good on video. Apparently somebody in, well, I thought somebody in Duckpin did it, but video was about Duckpin, not actually someone getting a 300. Misleading title. Game number 5. Minor lobs will live. I think that was right on the line. Which I believe in a competition is still considered no good, but from where I'm standing, it looked like it was fair, give or take. We let very minor ones live here. That definitely was over, so wouldn't have mattered. That's a 7. So she doesn't die. So now we get 2 El Stinko the bonus balls. What will the bonus be? In the land of the double strikes, the first place I ever did it was Putnam Street. I've done it multiple times there. Did it at Putnam's because it's Putnam Street. I did it at Acton Bowlodrome because it was a grease pit. I then did it at Brian's Bowlaway, which is a hard place. And Chris, one of these days, if he ever gets a chance to come out in the afternoon and not work, probably bowl together again. And of all places, I've actually done it here. And the last place, of all places to be last, because it's one of the easiest places, New Palace. Anyway, let's see if we can at least get a good fill. Here, Mason's a helicopter taking out one is pretty much as good as you're going to get. So far, El Stinko 1 is an okay 4. And that time Wood helped out quite a bit. That makes it an 8, and an 8 on a strike fill is pretty good. Just behind the line. Eight. That is not a Caleri because the 8 pin is actually there. And the sandpaper on the deck's starting to wear out. Pins shouldn't be able to do that here. It's not like this is a moderate or easy place. It's a 9er. F-time, revert. 7, strike. 10. First 2 balls, falling 8. Then an 8. And then the 9, 52. No guarantees for 100 there. They put sandpaper on the decks. You know that's sarcasm, right? Yeah, how you don't get any pin action here? Notice how the pins just fall and play dead? Although nowhere near as bad as Fun Spot. Never bowl there again. I had a hard time walking straight for 3 days and the pain didn't go away for like a week and a half. Oh, there's a stink frame for you. Welcome to Mason's 2. And that is where I sucked part-time. Third ball was that was definitely I suck moment. Downward spiral, here we are. That's a 7. Still can be a good game. 19 points within 3 frames for minimal acceptance. I saw the 7 pin going down, but the 10, that was a bonus. There we go. Nine and 2 for minimal acceptance. Well, so much for improvement. There's a 7. Two points for minimal acceptance. We got a stink frame of 2, so we know that's possible. Niner. All right. It all fell apart, but it ended okay, especially that. And then that wasn't much of a help. Good. Yeah. And a 9. 87. Game number 6. We just need one more game 80 above to call it acceptable run. We've had the great collapse before where we got our 6 and everything. Couldn't get above 80 after that. Let's hope not. And there's the first I wish it was ball 2 moment. On the 6th game of all of that. 10. So 10 is also the best start. There have been times where 10 for the best start ultimately wound up being the worst game. It also ended up being the best at times. And a crappy 5. Barely stayed on for 10. Another I wish it was ball 2 moment. Niner. Eight. Halftime report. 10-9, of course the 10 and lat 9 there, 8. We're 42 at the half. A little weak, but it's still fairly acceptable. Eight's maintained. Even the pros sometimes fail to clear the gutter. Anyway, that's a 10. Another 10. Two frames to get 10 for minimal acceptance. I got about took out a pin. Best we can do is 9. Five minus the 1 penalty, that's a 4. We need at least 6. Another ultra rare sideways diamond for another craptacular 6, just barely squeaking it in. Yeah, I barely can call this one good. 8. 10, 10, and it all falls apart there. We just barely made minimal acceptance. That means we've made the 6 minimum that I would at least want. And apparently Ethan can't say anything nice. Now in text form, it's hard to tell if he's just being sarcastic or being someone who will get banned. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Sort of what? Anyway, game 7. Either way, if it's sort of sarcastic, I'll let it live this once. Let's start with a 10. And once you know it, the best starting game, which was the last one, was also the worst one. Now, if Aaron Halbedel was working the back desk, he would let me go up there and check that. Well, we got somebody helping us that hates YouTube, so we have to block it. Apparently the wood is no good. Yeah, we found the one guy here that doesn't want to, he hates this video thing happening. Yeah, it looks like I'm no longer welcome, I guess. Ten. Yeah, usually this place doesn't mind me doing this. I just think he's never been a problem before. Now suddenly he is. Maybe he was being nice and didn't say it until now. He doesn't seem to be a bad guy. All right, now we have an instant where now we got a pin that's questionable again. And I got another gift. Actually, that pin looks okay. It's just almost there. Spare. 10, 10, and spare. So far we got a perfect game going here. And in Candlepin bowling, a perfect game simply means you get them all down in your turn. Minimal perfect game is 100, which I explained over the summer happened for the first time in recorded history. 300's a goal everybody wants, but no one has achieved. 245 is as high as anyone ever got in this game. El Stinko, the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? El Stinko stinks for the leave, but the fill itself ain't too bad. That's a 6. Niner. If he doesn't want to be on camera, that's fine. I just don't like the way he said it. He has had his temperamental moments. This is probably one of his days. No joke implied. Just might be having a bad day. Crappy 5. We can afford it. Halftime report. 10, 10 spare. 9. First ball taken out 6. And then that. But we're at 50. There's one thing I forgot to do, and I do it every halftime, that's clean the bowling balls. Alrighty. Half a game too late, but hey, the balls will be a little bit cleaner that much further along. Frame of 4. Two crappy frames back to back. That's lovely. And that's a 6, because why get better? That went in the gutter, no good. Good news is 3 frames to get 20. It's great. This game's a throwaway. Need 7. And we squeaked it through again. And crap storm. Crap from last time. The only good thing, crap. Bleh. Barely squeaked an 80. And it was only because the first half was strong. Game number 8. It is great. Lousy 6. There's our friend Bob Caleri. Here at Mason's, he's very stubborn to let go. All right, a niner. If that were only the first ball, still a 9. That's an 8. Halftime report. 8, 6, 9, 9, 8. Barely meeting acceptable levels. So as we keep it 8 and higher, we'll make it. We're at 40. Finally. I also forgot to see if some... Okay, that's not what I want. Or throw it, where do you look when you roll the ball? Usually, like all the good people that play this game, at the pins, if not, I have a line drawn between where my hand is and where the pin is, and anywhere along the line. So usually about 40 feet to the pin. 40 feet up to the pin. Two, I'll single the bonus balls. And I'll repeat this again because people jump in and out of these streams. First time I did it, Putnam Street Lanes. I've done it there multiple times. It's also Putnam Street because it's easy. Acton Boldrome was the second place, but that was a grease pit. Third place was Brian's Volaway and Gardner, which is a hard place. And of all places, I've gotten a double strike here at Mason's. And the last place I did it, of all places being last, because it's an easy house, New Palace. So let's see if we can at least get a good fill. At least an 8. Wait for the wood to settle down. There we go. If we hit the V there in the right, we could probably get a spare. The ball just had to hook left, didn't it? Still an 8 fill on a strike. Not bad. Pretty good. actually catapults things. I miss everything because I suck part-time, and that was definitely suckage. This is the only discipline where, to some degree, I can hold my own. Why couldn't it have been the last frame? That would have been a double. That would have been worth a lot of points. It's funny that the marks I got in this game were strikes. It's not the first time weird things like that have happened. Again, 2 will stinko the bonus balls. Again, let's see if we can get a double. It's happened here once. Way too thin. At easier houses, that probably would have happened. Again, at least an 8 fill. Spare on strike. All of a sudden, barely mediocre, not barely mediocre, mediocrity is 70s. A barely passable game is suddenly not so barely passable. El stinko the bonus ball. I just need 2 pins and I'll hit 3 digits. That's more than 2. Two El stinko the bonus balls to wrap this up. We're standing at 116. My high single at Mason's is a 121. 5 pins will tie it. 6 will make a new. Oh, Stacy, 6 will make a new high single for Mason's. Have you thought of looking at the arrow? Yeah, there are. It's hard to see, but there's one there, and one there. I actually do better looking at the pins or within that imaginary line I draw from my hand to it. 5 to tie, 6 to win, to beat it, and we got 2 balls in which to make it happen. We have a new high Mason single. Niner. All right, we got ourselves a new high Mason's single. Strike, an 8, which the 2 first balls made for that fill. Strike, The 2 balls made a spare, and then for the bonus, a strike, and then for the strike, a 9. Upticked ever so slightly, new high Mason single. It now stands at 125. 125 at Masons. That is actually impressive for a schmuck that does it for fun. Oh, and barring injury or sickness, which, hell, even usually injuries don't stop and I pay for it later. In 2 weeks, there will not be an impromptu. I will be live streaming my qualifier for the King of the Palace Scratch Tournament. People without an average, anyone who wants to plunk down 50 bucks, can participate. And we all know I will not make the show by a mile. But let's see if we can get a personal high 5. I think my high 5 is a 498. Game number 9. So far, no stinkers. And now that I said that, one of these games is probably going to be in the 60s somewhere. Oh, Stacy, once again. History has been made. Indeed. 121 is now 125. And now, you know what usually happens? The collapse. Note the qualifier, usually, which may mean it may not happen. Holding God's middle finger for 9. Say it with me now. Welcome to Masons. That's 2. Welcome to Masons moments. 6. Quarter Worcesters usually end in disaster. There's another I wish it was ball 2 moment. Seven. Niner. Halftime report. 9. Yep. 10. Meh. 9. 41. Anywhere else, that would have been way more. 6. No good. Best we can do is 9. Stink frame of 3. So this game's junk. We have to get all 10s or mark. That may fix things. It's time for the very important El Stinko, the bonus ball. A high number will really put things back on track. Yeah, this game's garbage. That's all one. Was hoping I could get the wood to take those out. And that's why you don't go for the glory. That's it. So it looks like we're hitting mediocrity unless we get all the pins down in a spare. And per usual, we have to always collapse after a good game. After all, nothing. Sucksville. Spare with crap. 8 total. Too bad only one fell then. 6. 75, mediocrity, massive crash like always. Why stay good? I tell you, it's always going to happen. Where is King of the Palace? They haven't posted in 3 or 4 months. People have been asking me that. I don't know where it is. We have been. I shouldn't say we. I'm not. I just sponsor it. Fitchburg Access has recorded them. They just have not posted them. I'm wondering if they're having a little trouble figuring out how to present the skins tournament, because it's a completely different animal. Hell, even I got it right. I mean, it came out right away like it was supposed to. So yeah, you could always go, if you watch King of the Palace on YouTube, you could always go to their latest video and leave a comment asking where are they. Or if you're in the Candlepin chat forums on Facebook, you can probably post a gripe there. Fitchburg Access TV, I'm not sure what their address is. I know they go by FATV, but many stations probably go by that. Game number 10. Of course, we had to have a crappy game. I had to say something. Four horsemen left for 6. That ties for the worst start, but by far not the worst game. Thank you, Wood. That's it. Eight. Well, I guess we're not going to recover. And there it is. Why the hell not? As Dennis Nuzzle says, listen to more, because the ink got prey in its right talent. Like I said, it doesn't matter at this point. Halftime as things fall apart all the time now. 6, then a 10, 8, 7, 5, 36. Looks like another jump game going on. It helps. Two will stinko the bonus balls. Oh, that's an ugly 6. That front piece of wood might help. But we still have a second of stinko. Decent 8 fill. And 8. All right. Reaching the bottom end of average skill. And down the total we go again. That's a lousy, mediocre 7. Wood started to settle, then it moved on. Finally, a perfect shot. All right, it's time for a single bonus ball. That rare perfect shot today has actually got us one lousy ball to get there. One lousy pin. Now Stinko gave us 7 and righted the ship. Wow, what a crappy game, and it turned out to actually be pretty good. Take 8. Alrighty. With a very, that is by far the worst half. Then a strike, and then an 8, which is the fill, and 7. Spare, and an 8 for 7. Crap game became a 94. Again, Masons, not bad. With all the Mason screw jobs we got, not bad. Number 11. That one slipped, but still got one. Bowling God's middle finger for 9. And there it is again. This time the prey is in the left claw. Stink frame of 3. This is by far the worst 2-frame start. And why try now? That helps. Without El Stinko being a good number, that doesn't really matter much. So let's see what El Stinko, the bonus ball, will give us. Crap leaf per usual, though that piece of wood could help. 7 ain't too bad for the fill at least. There, that actually helped put the ship on better. Take 8. All right, halftime report. 9. That. A spare with 7 fill from the 8. Being the first ball, knocked 7 down. 40. Bottom average. And that ruined the game. It's a 3. All right, that 10 helps. One more. I like that right in front of that 9 pin. But we have another piece of diagonal wood. Okay, that one left. The diagonal can get it. If I hit that straight on one on the right, that can get it. Let's see what happens. Screwed. It's a 9, which is still pretty good. Yeah, we're looking at bottom end of average. Nine helps. All right, we need 6 to hit bottom end of average. The 4 horsemen made the 6. Full control of the ball and it went there. So, yep, I still suck part-time at least. Another squeaker. Since this is Masons, of course, squeakers are pretty much as good as we get. That killed it. Helped, 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 killed it. Just barely made acceptable with 80 again. That's 3 barely acceptable games and 1 that's mediocre at best. Last game. Is this pro or semi? More like just some guy playing bowling. Although because I actually make money doing these videos, by definition, I am the world's worst professional camping bowler. But am I? No, not in a pro league, not in a league, just a guy that bowls. Stuff for fun people. Last game. Will it end in a whimper like it usually does? We knew it wasn't going to happen.
Okay, let's do the next one.
Man, I suck. Those two balls had full control of it. It went completely the wrong way. And that's why I say part-time I suck. And when I finally find something, throw a good one, then I get crapped on. Seven. Yep, it always has to end poorly. Another 7. One ball too late, but 10. The 10 really does help. That ball wasn't too bad. Anywhere else, that would have been a spare. Niner. Halftime report. 9, 7, 7, 10, 9. Bottom end of average of 42. I'm also not seeing my 4th ball coming back. This side of the house is notorious for eating at least one of my bowling. Oh, there it is. Usually on this side of the house, when I'm done, 3 of them remain. Once, only 2. That piece of wood did not take out either the 2 or the 8, did it? So we got a reverse half Worcester left. Not anymore. funny thing is the reverse Worcester standing. It's standing by itself. Very hard to get.
Really? I told you to go down the gutter.
We're looking at bottom end of average here. Need 10s and marks to hit middle, 20 within these three to hit bottom. Still got a 10. $20 within 2 to hit middle, 10 to hit bottom. Another 10. One stinker. All right, after this frame, I got to throw a few extra balls down there to get the fourth one back. I mean, it came back. Still might do it because it's a little slow. No good. Now, because it was a full rack, we are allowed to reset. Best we can do is an Emily. That is, ball 1 is a 0, ball 2 is everything. And that was 8. All right, it didn't end on a sour note. All right, 3 of the balls are here. I think this is number 4. Yep, they all made it. All right, final. 2, 8 for 60, 2 10s, 70s, and 80s, and an 8 for 88. So, all right, we didn't end in a whimper. Highlights and lowlights. So, game 1, 85, 2, 90, 3, 97, 4. What I thought would be the high today, 118. Sometimes I don't suck. 5 is 87, 6 is 87, 80, and then the new high Masons single, 25, and then as usual the great collapse or the 75, 94, 80, 88. So yeah, per usual, the big collapse happens whenever something good happens. But we got a new high single at least here at Masons. will be it from Mason's Bowling in Leominster, Massachusetts. George FF1 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.